a nice showing.
Run around, got away from everybody, showed that he was athletic, showed that he could throw the ball a few times. It's easy to do when half of the starting defense for the other team is out. What are you going to do when the whole starting defense for the other team is in?
Is that a testament of how good he played, or is it just how bad Matt Castle and E.J. Manuel were?
He just played. He played. They want to go with a guy who adds a little athleticism. Matt Castle. Matt Castle is not going to be looked at as the quickest fleet of foot guy, and E.J. Manuel is also all confidence in himself. So
he does got some help. Sammy Watkins, who was a rookie receiver in that rookie class that you talk about.
Yep.
You got some talent there. Scott Chandler's a nice tight end for them as well. And, of course, you add LaShawn McCoy. I mean, he does got some weapons to work with, at least. I don't know, how that would translate, because they're a young, upcoming team. But to win 9 games with this and Rex Ryan take this over for here, and he's predicting playoffs, man, which he always do.
Oh, yeah, that's just how Rex is.
You admire the confidence, but you kind of want to play out the season and just let them don't put any more pressure on your team if you need to, because they did go 9-7, so you set the bar pretty high for a Buffalo team. The last few years wasn't even 500. So this is a nice little core. Their defense has always been very solid, like Kevin said, and
your defense is really good.
So, and I'm glad that LaShawn McCoy kind of warmed up to it and everything like that. I don't know.
Well, you have no choice. You either warm up to it or you retire. Pick which one you want to do. You have no choice.
I hear you. All right, let's move on to the Miami Dolphins. They was 8-8 last year, and they added Ndamukong Suh, and of course he come out saying Dolphins D has more talent than lines last year. Thoughts about him and being added to this team, and the Ryan Tannehill extension and everything. Like, I know
he makes everything more dangerous on that Dolphins D that was already dangerous. Cameron Wake and their outside guys.
How good is Cameron Wake?
And now with him going to be garnering all this attention from all of these guys, it's going to be crazy the way that they'll be able to do.
Rick Grimes is not a talent.
Yeah, both of their corners are pretty dang good. Cameron Wake, like we said earlier, he was phenomenal. So, yeah. And now you got Sue, who's going to be clogging and taking up the middle and taking up 2, sometimes 3 people. Yeah, it just adds another dimension to that Dolphins team. But Ryan Tannehill damn sure didn't deserve all that money he got. Me and you have just as many playoff wins as Ryan Tannehill. They didn't give us that amount of money. And again, just like I said on the last podcast, some of these people that are getting all this money have not done anything to show that they are worth it or done anything to deserve it. Just because you played the highest profiled position in all of sports probably doesn't mean you deserve to get paid like you have succeeded upon and over expectations when you haven't.
Well, when you add a player like Sue, the expectation does rise. So,
so does your friggin' salary cap.
I'm telling you. So, I'm sure they're respecting progression now in Tannehill. I did say he did have some moments of brilliance last year, but like Kevin said, they didn't get to the playoffs. So, and that's what counts nowadays. Now, he is a young talent, but I'm just wondering, can he take that next step? Now you got a good defense. They pay you majority of the money, so now it's time for you to go ahead and actually get your end of the bargain, because he does got an arm, but he is kind of still progressing a little bit in what I've seen. Let's see, Tannehill, as far as last year, he had 27 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
He had a good season, but it's still, is he worth that much money? Is he really worth that much money? You threw for 4,000 yards, but you still had trouble, and he looked bad against bad teams.
Yeah.
Sometimes he was not very good against a few teams, and it's one of those things to where, are we going to be able to find better, and should we just go ahead and pay him now? And that's what they had to do, was just you had to go ahead and put your faith in them and go ahead and put money into them now.
So hopefully we'll see for Dolphin fans that their bargain pay off, but they're still in a competitive division. So this is
But between his second and third year, he made pretty good jumps, especially from his rookie campaign. Which, with your rookie campaign, everybody almost looks bad.
Yeah.
When they're rookie campaign, because there's such a learning curve from college to pro.
Well, this is the one team I need to take advantage of the Tom Brady suspension.
Oh yeah, all these teams need to jump out to a quick start, especially if he's going to be suspended for the 4 games. These other teams in their division need to jump off into that quick start. Not saying that it's going to mean anything because it all happened last year, but they need to.
Gotcha. All right, and let's move forward to the Jets. Kevin just that's Kevin, our preview of the Jets, just a little laugh. So, Geno Smith, about the altercation with his teammate, end up with a broken jaw.
You ain't getting $600. Yeah. Now where's my $600?
You want to talk about
stupid idiot? Nope, I just did.
That's it, huh?
Should have gave him his money. You wouldn't have had to worry about it.
So
you wouldn't be Kanye-ing it right now. Through the wire.
So we're just expecting the Jets to do Jets things. Great defense, struggling offense, as usual.
Well, they got weapons on offense. And I think Fitzpatrick is there now. Is the guy that's quarterbacking there now. Ryan Fitzpatrick will be serviceable for them.
Yeah.
And especially with a couple of the weapons that they got now and everything, they should be all right.
The New York Jets, they still got, I know they got Eric Decker. They added Brandon Marshall. So, I mean, they do got some receiving help there. Enough to make, Geno Smith, I would say, a competent quarterback. But I say that very loosely. But I mean, they still have some talent there now. Like you said, Ryan Fitzpatrick's the guy that's at the helm now. And
you got Brandon Marshall, and came in, and he's going to play receiver for you, and Eric Decker, who somebody said was the number 1 receiver. I said you're high as shit, because he is not a number 1 receiver, but whatever. But Brandon Marshall is.
I can definitely agree with you that Eric Decker is not a number 1 receiver. Hence why Thurman didn't pay him the money. So, as you see, that year he struggled without paying Manning. On the bigger, better things, he's in New York, and he's got Brandon Marshall helping him out.
You'd struggle, too, if you went from Peyton Manning to freaking Geno Smith.
True. Very, very, very true. But sometimes it's all about the money, man. You get the money, you can get paid. Hey,
exactly.
I can't knock you for that. Go get your money, man. So, all right, that's enough about the Jets. We really don't have much to talk about the Jets. Geno Smith, broken jaw.
Pop.
They added Brandon Marshall in a trade. You know, they got some help. Ryan Fitzpatrick going to be playing quarterback for the Nets.
But this whole division will be interesting. This division will be interesting, especially if there's still the 4-game suspension. If there's no 4-game suspension, it's not going to be interesting.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that.
But the Dolphins I think the Dolphins will make the biggest push out of any of them, because their defense is solid. I think they'll make a pretty halfway decent push, but I still think New England ends up winning it.
The division?
Yeah. I think they still end up winning it, and I think it'll be close between them and the Dolphins.
Yeah.
I think the Bills just fall off because eventually people figure out a new quarterback, and it goes downhill from there for them.
Yeah. Buffalo had a heck of a season last year. They didn't make the playoffs.
Just depends on who don't get hurt.
You're right. So many injuries going on so far. I'm with you on the Patriots. Even though Tom Brady is possibly going to be out for 4 games, they're still good at what they do, and they still got one of the best coaches in the game. And I know they have their issues as far as upping the scale in their favor sometimes, but I just don't see no one beating that division unless, Miami's got a really good shot to actually compete with them. So that's why
Miami, everything hinges on Tannehill.
Yeah,
that's where it hinges.
They have to start off strong and take advantage of it. That's why I say, to me, I know all these teams need to take advantage of that, but Miami's the one team that really need to take advantage of it because they added, one of the best defensive players in the game and put a lot of pressure on them. So now of course, Miami's going to have this light on them now because, Sue is playing for them, and they got Cameron Wake, who this is going to be a fun defense to watch. Tannehill, this is your chance to prove that, get these boys to the playoffs because, like me and Kevin, we have little doubts about you. you know, I do admit you're a talent, but it's time for you to get to the playoffs and showcase your talent there. So, but I think the Patriots end up winning. Tom Brady's suspension doesn't matter. They're still really, really good. And that's the game I'm really going to watch because these games, when they play between each other, Dolphins have had their numbers the last few
Dolphins
seasons.
always win that first game in Miami. They always do for some odd reason. They win that game in Miami.
They play them well.
Yep, they always win that game in Miami. But then when they go to New England, they always get crapped on.
Yeah. So this is so I always like seeing the Patriots and the Dolphins play because somehow, like Kevin said, somehow they always win in Miami. So this division would be very, very interesting to watch. So, all right, let's move to the AFC North. This is always a fun division to watch, and we'll talk a little bit about this. But you got the Pittsburgh Steelers last year, 11-5. Cincinnati Bengals at 10-5.
Damn.
Baltimore Ravens at 10-6. Mm-hmm. Cleveland Browns at 7-9. At one point, the Cleveland Browns were leading this division last year.
Yeah, and then they realized they were the Cleveland Browns.
And started doing Cleveland Brown things like their new uniforms. Yuck.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Thumb down on their new uniforms. Huh?
First off, it got even worse because you put Cleveland on the front of it.
An aerial bowl front.
You put them in that, but the best part is you put them in doo-doo brown colors, which kind of signifies the sports scene in Cleveland.
What was the picture you posted?
Doo-doo. Why did you make me wear this Browns jersey? Why? He was crying and holding his hands over his face.
That was great.
Wearing a Browns jersey.
All right, the headlines for this division. You got Marquise Pouncey injury, Michael Vick signing, Le'Veon Bell's suspension, and we'll discuss Steelers, thought heading into the season. And how much pressure is Andy Dalton is under? Getting paid big, and this is another one that Kevin had discussed.
Nice.
Who I honestly thought last year was going to make the jump, and he didn't do much.
They were your pick.
Yeah, it was my pick. I was
to go to nowhere.
I was sipping a little bit of that Cincinnati Kool-Aid and it didn't get anywhere.
Yeah, you sipped a lot of it.
Steve Smith's senior final season, and can the Ravens be in position to make a run for the playoffs?
Man, they always are.
And then you got Manziel and McCown as your starters, or they're trying to figure out who's going to be the starter and everything like that. And Dwayne Bowe endorses his offense. Of course, he's just being nice. So, all right, let's start with the Steelers, man. They had a lot. They got a lot going on, man. Pouncey is another injury that we talked about. This one is not an ACL. It's an ankle.
It broke his ankle. He broke his ankle. So, And then you got Michael Vick coming in and everybody wanting to still focus on the stupid dog crap. Get over it, people. He did his time and everything like that. It's over.
Thank you.
You know what? I'm one of the biggest dog lovers ever. I forgive him. It's over. It's done with. I'll still make jokes about it, but to go after the man because he's on my team, I'm not worried about it.
Exactly.
Not worried about it at all.
There's people are still trying to find something to complain about.
It's because the damn country has turned into a bunch of godforsaken pussies. Excuse my French. The country has just turned into a bunch of PR pussies about every stupid thing that ever comes up. Shut up. God, bunch of pussies.
Play ball. That's what we say.
Bunch of damn sissies.
Play ball. He's a nice insurance to have, and it's another option that you have, and you gotta enjoy that. But you sit there and rely on the past and what he did in the past and everything like that. Just let it go. You still got a great offense. Great offense. This offense it's kind of weird. You can talk about the Steelers' offense being better than the defense last year because Steelers' defense.
Their defense sucks.
Bad.
Pittsburgh's defense this year sucks.
Bad, man.
Pittsburgh's defense is not going to be that good. They're going to be in shootouts every single game. The ball is going to be flying around in Pittsburgh. And luckily they have all that offensive talent. Yep. Because on the defensive side of the ball,
complete 180, man.
It's went cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
It's night and day different that defense is from a few years ago. And one of the best to ever do it did retire. Detroit